From WABI TV5 News, this is Saturday Morning Maine.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joy Hollowell. Today is Saturday, June 11th. Welcome to Saturday Morning Maine.
Now, from Louisiana's News Channel, this is 9 News Sunday Morning.
Good morning and welcome to 9 News Sunday Morning. I'm Breanne Bazette.
And I'm Steve Caparata in once again for Jared Silverman and Bree. Were you outside yesterday?
Action 2 News at 5 starts right now.
Right now on Action 2 News at 5, staying on the ballot. Former President Donald Trump's pick for Wisconsin governor has his candidacy paperwork debated today. How the decision came down for Tim Michels. Held in contempt, the man leading a taxpayer-funded investigation of Wisconsin's 2020 election gets rebuffed in court, while why Michael Gableman continues to defy open records lawsuits. Plus, isolated exposure. Health officials say someone contagious with monkeypox visited Oconto County. Why they are assuring the public that the transmission risk is low.
From WBAY TV, your first alert station, Action 2 News at 5 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Bill is off tonight. A challenge by Democrats attempting.
You're watching WAFF 48 News Weekend Mornings with Kelly Miller, Jasmine Cornell, and meteorologist Abigail Tegler.
Welcome in on this Saturday morning. I'm Haley Baker in for Kelly. She needed a break.
Yeah.
Enjoy this nice weather. A nice dry start to the day, by the way.
Yeah. Yes, and a cool morning too. Abigail is in tracking the weather.
The best combo deal out there. Yeah, for today we're dry and we're comfortable. That is not typical for June and for early startups.
Coming up this morning, Pritchard investigators searching for clues after a body was discovered earlier this week, what they're saying was the cause of death. And the Uvalde police chief is speaking out for the first time about the police response to that deadly school shooting.
Committed to you. First with breaking news and breaking weather. Fox 10 News starts now.
Good morning, Gulf Coast, and thanks for choosing to wake up with Fox 10 News on your Saturday morning. Today is June 11th. Happy Saturday. I'm Gianni Navarro. Let's go ahead.
Tonight on Fox 10 News, gas prices continue to hit new record highs. We're speaking with drivers at the pump. Plus, former President Trump endorsing U.S. Senate candidate Katie Britt for the upcoming runoff. We have a reaction from Mo Brooks' camp straight ahead. Jen.
And also, we're keeping a close eye on your forecast. Even warmer and muggier heading into your Sunday. I'll be breaking down all those details coming up.
And then Mobile's Mardi Gras song now has the moves to go with it. We take you behind the scenes of the making of the music video. Fox 10 News at 9 starts now.
Committed to you. First with breaking news and breaking weather. Fox 10 News starts now.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for looking in. I'm Lee Peck. We're glad you chose Fox 10 News at 9. Well, topping our news tonight.
Thanks for joining us this Sunday morning. I'm Darren Perrin. Right now on You Can Quote Me, where...
Coming up tonight on the Channel 3 News, suspicious death in Rutland.
Police in Rutland are investigating what they're calling a suspicious death at a house on Baxter Street. I'm Calvin Cutler on the Channel 3 News with what we know about the investigation so far.
Plus, a Senate compromise has been reached to fight gun violence. And Northeast Kingdom All-Stars compete musically on a high note.
From WCAX Channel 3. The Channel 3 Weekend News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Drew Scott. Suspicious death under investigation in Rutland tonight.
People in Gainesville join groups around the nation marching to speak up against gun violence. Coming up, why they say change is long overdue.
Clearing out for most of the area tonight, but will showers and storms return for our Sunday? I'll let you know coming up.
And the Gator women's track and field team competed for a chance to win their first ever NCAA Outdoor National Championship. We'll have those stories and more. Your TV 20 Weekend Report starts now.
This
This is Weekend Report on WCJB TV 20, your local station.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Markoff. Alachua County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man after he beat his fiancée and resisted officers outside a hospital.
Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
A shooting at a mall in North Carolina. We'll have the latest after 4 people were shot. Not as much shower activity throughout our Friday, but yes, we have more rain in the forecast this weekend. We'll talk about when coming up.
A man is now behind bars following a shooting last month in downtown Charleston.
The man accused in a shooting that sent 9 people to the hospital last month will be staying behind bars.
31-year-old Deljavon Lamas.
The latest from the Shenandoah County School Board as members vote on whether or not to restore the Confederate names of 2 county schools. We'll take a look at the decision made at last night's meeting. Plus, the Public Utilities Water Treatment Plant in Harrisonburg receiving an award from the state. We'll be hearing from city staff about all the hard work that goes into keeping the area's water clean.
Covering news across your hometown. We're working hard for you. This is WHSV Daybreak.
Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, June 10th. I'm Courtney Diary. Thank you so much for joining us. We are heading into the weekend on a pleasant note today, so let's check in with Stephanie Penn in the First Alert Weather Center. Steph, it's actually pretty cool out there this morning.
Covering news across your hometown. We're working hard for you. This is WHSV News at 6.
Now at 6, the Shenandoah County Sheriff's Office has lost its accreditation from the Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission. The agency had been accredited since 2006. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Kyle Rogers.
I'm Kayla Brooks. Chelsea has the night off.
Getting answers for Western Massachusetts. This is Western Mass News on Fox 6.
Coming up here on Western Mass News at 10 on Fox 6, a 12-year-old boy is in police custody in connection with a threat made towards a Greenfield school.
And Beantown is buzzing with the Celtics back in the NBA Finals. I'm Matt Satilli live outside TD Garden with the details next.
And we are expecting more of a 50-50 weekend as rain is looking more likely Sunday. The latest in my First Alert forecast.
A 12-year-old's in police custody after police say he posted a threat of violence against a Greenfield school on social media.
Getting answers for Western Massachusetts. This is Western Mass News.
Dry day today, but looks like the shower chances are back tomorrow, the latest in my First Alert forecast.
And Westfield students working to make their community a better place, how they're using a documentary to incite change. Plus, in light of a recent string of mass shootings, people across America taking a stand. More on the March for Our Lives rallies taking place across the country today. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Western Mass News at 6. I'm Matt Satilli. A sunny Saturday here in Western Mass, continuing a recent trend of some beautiful weekend days. For what's in store for the rest of the weekend, we now
WDAM 7 Sunrise.
We're proud to always be on your side. Good morning, Pine Belt. This is WDAM 7 Sunrise.
Hello, and thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Vanessa Pacheco. After days of hot and humid temperatures, we've got some possible severe weather on the way.
Now at 10, law enforcement across the state remembering Officer Kenneth Kroom and the legacy he leaves behind.
And the weather is now quieted down, but will we see a few showers tomorrow? Well, we're going to talk about it in your full forecast in just a few minutes, but your news at 10 starts right now.
We're proud to always be on your side. Good evening, Pine Belt. This is WDAM 7 News at 10.
Tonight, the man accused of shooting and killing a Meridian police officer is behind bars after U.S. Marshals take him into custody this morning.
First at 5, a court date for the Grand Rapids police officer charged with second-degree murder in the shooting death of Patrick Lyoya. We have an update on the case. Plus, one machine in the basement of the Jackson County Jail contains a life-saving drug free for the taking. First at 5 starts now.
Breaking news, First Alert weather, and live local coverage. This is News 10, First at 5.
what I do find.
Why Michigan State University ranks #1 in recycling. News 10 at 6 starts now.
Breaking news, first alert weather, and live local coverage. This is News 10 at 6.
Good evening. There has been at least one university hazing death every year since 1969.
Good evening to you. I'm Pavlina Asta.
And I'm Cody Boyer. Coming up on your TV6 News tonight, police departments across the nation not immune to staffing shortages impacting the country. What Upper Michigan State Police posts are facing as some stations see their ranks at half of what they should be.
The gates are back open. What happened after an oil spill forced the Sioux locks shut and the cleanup that followed to get them operational again.
And summer heat means more apt to go swimming and in more places. How to keep your kids safe this summer in all of the elements.
Plus, creeping closer to a grand opening. We're checking back in with the progress of Marquette's Honorable Distillery coming up.
These stories and much more on your TV6 News tonight, starting now.
From Upper Michigan's source, this is your TV6 News Tonight.
Continuing coverage to begin your news tonight on a situation along Marquette Township's Wright Street. We first brought you on your early news. Michigan's.
This is ABC 10, your hometown station.
Your hometown station, serving the beautiful Upper Peninsula. This is ABC 10 News at 11.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on ABC 10 News at 11 on your hometown station. I'm Max LeBeau. A portion of Wright Street in Marquette Township was closed after a cement truck rolled over.
From WNDU TV, this is 16 News Now, Sunday morning.
Coming up on 16 News Now Sunday morning, another investigation. Benton Harbor is asking for your help as it looks for information on a shooting that killed one person. And firing back, both here at home and across the country, people called for gun reform in the wake of multiple mass shootings in the U.S. And deciding game, it's winner take all as the Fighting Irish and the Tennessee Volunteers face off for a spot in the College World Series. Welcome to 16 News Now Sunday morning. I'm Jack Springate. It's great to be back with you guys after a couple weeks. I'm joined by Andrew Whitmire here in the Weather Lab. We got
Coming up at 6 on 16 News Now.
A bipartisan group of senators reached an agreement on some proposals aimed at reducing gun violence in the country. Plus, today marks the 6-year anniversary of the Pulse nightclub shooting, how the city of Orlando is commemorating the victims. And if you're planning on taking a trip out of the country anytime soon, what you need to know about new changes for COVID protocols.
From WNDU TV, this is 16 News Now.
Well, how about some good news to kick off the 6 o'clock show? The Notre Dame Fighting Irish baseball team is headed to the College World Series.
Now, live from across north central Wisconsin, you're waking up with Sunrise 7.
Everybody watch out for me. You never know where I'll be.
They're ready to start their engines. How a group of seniors is staying young with remote controlled cars.
If you have plans for Saturday, make sure you keep the umbrella nearby. I have the latest details on your weekend rain chance.
And a House Select Committee investigates.
Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS 7 First Alert News at 10.
There's a couple of things that are really scary to look at. One of them is Jay's legs in shorts, okay? Of course, Kay is a doll.
Good evening to you, and thanks so much for joining us tonight at 10. Topping our news today was the inaugural Oilfield Connections Invitational for Sarge Summers over at Hogan Park Golf Course in
Right now at 10, police are searching for an East Texas inmate who is still on the run. We'll tell you how this trustee left the jail and how you can help find the inmate who escaped. Plus, we're hearing from the chief of police for the Uvalde School District as questions remain about law enforcement's delayed response in the school shooting. KTRE 9 News starts right now.
Caring, committed, proud of East Texas. You're watching KTRE 9 News.
Good evening, East Texas, and thanks for joining us. Let's check in right away with Chief Meteorologist Brad Lozak for a look at this weekend's forecast. Brad?
Well, we are going to be in store for the hottest weekend so far in
Coming up this morning, another plane crash at the Sioux Falls Airport. We'll have the details on the extent of the damage. Plus, prices at the pump continue to take a chunk out of consumers' wallets. We'll hear from an industry expert on what to expect for the remainder of the year. Austin.
Well, we have a lot of cloud cover across the region this morning. Even a few scattered showers made its way through in Sioux Falls right now. A lot of cloud cover, even a few showers being reported up at the airport, 67 degrees right now. We will get into the mid to upper 80s later today with decreasing clouds. Mix of clouds and sun up in Aberdeen right now. It is 72 degrees, southwest wind at 15, and we're in the mid to upper 80s as well this afternoon. And it is also 72 in Pierre, and we're on our way up to the upper 80s today with a partly cloudy sky. We'll have the rest of your weekend forecast coming up. You're watching Dakota News Now.
This is Dakota News Now.
Good morning, I'm Cordell Wright.
I'm Austin Askus. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. It is Saturday, June 11th.
And we are getting close to Father's Day. And, coming up later in the weekend, we'll be talking about some Father's Day gift ideas.
Happening now, concerns surrounding a CO2 pipeline coming to South Dakota continue to persist. This time, officials looking at leaks in other areas of the country in hopes of evaluating the risk versus reward. And cultures from across the globe coming together today in Sioux Falls for the 25th Annual Festival of Cultures. We'll take you to that event at Falls Park. Austin.
And overall, it was a quiet day across the region. We had some cloud cover, a few showers and storms early in the day. But let's take a look at those planners for our Saturday evening. We'll start with Sioux Falls. Right now, we've jumped up to 85 degrees. It is partly cloudy, and we stay partly to mostly cloudy the rest of the evening. We're down to 70 by midnight with those light winds continuing. It is 86 degrees up in the hub city right now, partly cloudy, north wind at 7. That stays pretty light as well through the evening. And in Pierre, partly sunny, 86 right now. We have a chance of a few storms heading towards the midnight hour tonight. And first alert weather days have now been issued for Sunday and Monday. We'll explain more on that coming up. You're watching Dakota News Now.
This is Dakota News Now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Scotting in. While the South Dakota PUC continues to review the application for the state's first CO2 pipeline, a government report about a life-threatening leak elsewhere in the country could affect pipelines planned for our state.
You can count on us. This is 7 News at 5.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Mackenzie Burke.
And I'm Caitlin Williams. A Marlowe band director is facing federal charges accused of inappropriately touching a student.
You can count on us. This is 7 News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to 7 News at 10. I'm Cheyenne Cole. A 5-year-old boy is dead after drowning last night in Fort Cobb.
This is Colo 8 News Now at 11, covering the news that matters to you.
And our top story at 11 o'clock, global engagement in Nevada is back on track. Thank you for being with us. I'm Tabney Dozier.
And I am Noah Bond. After 2 years without hosting international students.
Water advisory has been rescinded for multiple communities in the Wichita Metro. We'll tell you the latest. Plus,
the Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack begins making its case against the former president. I'm Natalie Brandt with the new details revealed.
And the end of COVID testing for U.S. travelers could be coming this weekend. That story and more right now on Eyewitness News at noon.
This is KWCH 12 Eyewitness News at noon.
Welcome into Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Britton Rucker. We're finally going to get a chance to dry out for a few days.
Live from the KWQC studio, this is Quad Cities Today.
President Trump summoned the mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack.
The first public hearing of the January 6th Select Committee got underway on Capitol Hill last night. The hearings kicked off with taped interviews from those within President Trump's inner circle, as well as new, never-before-seen video from that fateful day. We'll have a full recap in just moments. But first, it is Friday morning. We bid you good morning. Thanks for joining us on Quad Cities Today. I'm Redrick Terry. Jenna has the day off, and
live from the KWQC studio, this is TV6 News at 6.
New at 6 tonight, Illinois State Police are investigating after 2 people were found dead in an Illinois home today. Good evening, I'm Paula Sands.
I'm David Nelson. The discovery was made at around 8 this morning in Abingdon.
On your side, 6 News WOWT starts with breaking news.
This breaking news, another dismal day on Wall Street. Worse than expected inflation numbers putting a huge damper on.
Dealing with inflation and a possible recession, many getting ready for the worst. We've got the numbers behind the bleak outlook.
Omaha's Arts Festival returns, but in new surroundings, what you can expect at the Summer Arts event.
Headed into the weekend, and we're planning around rain chances. I'll let you know when to expect those storms coming up.
And the White House getting more baby formula to the U.S. when you'll be able to pick some up.
On your side, this is 6 News WOWT, live at 5.
New numbers are out. Inflation is at its highest it's been in 40 years. From record high gas prices to the cost of groceries, prices are going up.
Now, live from across north central Wisconsin, News Channel 7 at 9 starts now.
Now at 9, a Wausau woman is sharing her story of both parents having Alzheimer's at the same time, what her message is to all of you. And the Oneida County teen accused of making terrorist threats to school personnel appears in court. What he had to say to the judge.
After a dry day today, we have rain chances tomorrow. Get the umbrella ready. I'll have your first alert forecast coming up.
But first, developing tonight, a Mosinee man is found guilty of killing a missing woman and hiding her remains.
Live from WSAC with Taylor Eaton and Susan Nicholas. This is Studio 3.
I got that Friday feeling here on Studio 3. We have made it, and we've got Coach Chris here with us, going to share how you can still have some fun when you go on that vacation.
This is News Channel 3, 6 o'clock.
Good evening to you, everyone. I'm Taylor Eaton.
And I'm Tim Ear. Thanks for joining us.
You're watching Daybreak with Zach Miles and Henry Groff with your Pinpoint Weather Forecast.
Good morning. We're going to start off pretty comfortable this morning with
Live from our studios at One Television Plaza, this is WTAP News at Noon.
Good Friday afternoon to the entire Mid-Ohio Valley, and as always, thanks for joining us. I'm Zach Miles. We'll kick things off by turning to
7 starts now.
Live from our studios at One Television Plaza, this is WTAP News at 11.
In just 3 days, the state of Ohio will be officially designated as a constitutional carry state. We hear reaction from local law enforcement officials. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Samantha Cavalli. We'll be beginning on Monday, Ohio.
Serving Parkersburg, Marietta, and the entire Mid-Ohio Valley. You're watching WTAP News at 11.
Welcome back. Well, Emma Kitchen of Parkersburg Catholic High School.
Latest news at your fingertips. ErieNewsNow.com. Erie News Now, your #1 social media station in Erie.
Affordable glasses made in store.
With coverage you can count on. Welcome to Erie News Now at 7.
Good Friday evening. I'm Emily Matson. Thank you so much for choosing Erie News Now at 7. Across the nation, in
coverage you can count on. You're watching WTVM News Leader 9, sponsored by Montlick & Associates, Columbus Injury Attorneys.
Good Sunday evening. Thanks so much for joining us for WTVM News Leader 9 at 11. I'm Ashley Williams. We begin tonight with more
Newsly. You're watching WTVM News Leader 9. Coverage you can count on.
COVID travel.
Joining us, ABC 29 News at 11 starts right now.
Live in high definition from the area's most experienced news team. This is NBC 29 HD News at 11.
We had a rough night of severe
on building electric delivery vans at the former AM General plant in Mishawaka.
From WNDU TV, this is 16 News Now.
Good evening, I'm Terry McFadden. A two-fisted weather storyline for Michiana tonight. Severe weather and extreme heat. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Matt Engelbrecht joins us now from the Weather Lab. Matt, we are at the start of a First Alert Weather Day trifecta.
Yeah, in fact, the first one coming to an end. Severe weather passed through this evening, and the severe weather threat overall diminishing now through the course of the night tonight. Still can't completely rule out isolated thunderstorms moving in. We'll talk about that in a second.
From WPTA, your weather authority, this is ABC 21 News at 11.
Hey, thanks for choosing us, everybody. I'm Brian McElhatton. Did you see the lightning show tonight? How could you miss it? What a night we've had. Severe weather moving through the area. Lots of reports of damage, power outages. Emergency crews are stretched to their max in many places right now. We're going to update you on all of that. But first, I want to turn things over to our First Alert weather team. They gave us an idea that this could happen tonight, and indeed, there's the lightning we saw earlier. We got the severe storms we were warning you about. Let's say hello to Matt Leach now. And Matt, where should we begin tonight?
There are a lot of places we could begin, and we're actually going to be doing a lot of these kind of conversations about what happened tonight and what to expect going forward. I want to start, though, with the highest wind report at Fort Wayne International Airport, 98 miles per hour. That was recorded at the sensor at Fort Wayne International Airport. That is the equivalent of a Category 2 hurricane that blew through the southwest side of town, creating quite a bit of extensive damage. Again, we're going to go over all that here soon, but this is unprecedented. The highest wind report in Fort Wayne before that, 91 miles per hour from a derecho that moved through in June of 2012. That was also before a big heat streak. So this was definitely worst case scenario for many, many people. We did have some video of some very intense rain, hail, wind. You can hear the loud thunder. This was for many locations, again, probably the worst storm that's ever hit certain areas, particularly southwest of Fort Wayne. Again, that looks like, you know, ice out of an ice tray, but no, that's over about $half size hail.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEN TV5 News.
Right now, preparing for round 2 as the January 6th Select Committee will start a second day of hearings looking into the Capitol attacks.
They need to be investigated if there's credible evidence, which I think there is.
The call for the Justice Department to weigh in. Plus, protecting trees in mid-Michigan, how one community's treatment hopes to kill invasive pests. And a shortage of summer lifeguards.
We provide a public service to the community, and it is imperative that we are there.
How pools across the country are having to cut back as they struggle to bring in staff. It's time to wake up mid-Michigan. It is Monday, June 13th. That is such a gorgeous sunrise over the Saginaw Bay. Good morning to you. We love being up with you as you get ready for the day.
With David and Meg starts right now.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEN TV5 News.
Storms heading our way, and they could turn severe with strong gusts of wind creating potential problems across the region. Thanks for watching the news at 6 tonight. I'm David Custer.
And I'm Meg McLeod. Chief Meteorologist Chris Eastlick is tracking the potential for severe storms.
The British Virgin Islands avoid a takeover by the UK. Jamaica makes a major move towards becoming a republic. A possible case of monkeypox in the Caribbean, and a young mother killed in a plane crash in the Bahamas. I'm Renee Sion, following some of the big stories across the region in this Caribbean Week in Review.
One Caribbean News, keeping you connected to the Caribbean and the world.
Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us here today for this edition of One Caribbean News. I'm Brissa Bradfield, doing to get your week started off with the first check of that forecast. Joining us to do just that, Joey and Bob. Hey, guys.
Hey, Brissa, hope you had a nice weekend. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. You're watching OCTV, and we got you covered weather-wise. Coming up here in just a couple of moments. No developing storms in the Atlantic. That's
10.
Now on 13 on your side, a child drowns in Yuma over the weekend. Plus, the January 6th committee says the Trump campaign team knew the votes were accurate. And the Senate lays out a plan to combat gun control in our nation. 13 on your side starts now.
13 on your side starts now.
The Yuma Police Department is speaking out after responding to a child drowning over the weekend.
I'm Dave Carlin in New York with a breakdown of the winners at the 75th Annual Tony Awards.
This is Wake Up on KION News Channel 546 at 6.
Good morning, rise and shine. It's Monday, June 13th. I'm Taryn Mitchell as we're all getting ready to start the new work week.
Ole Miss comes out on top, defeating Southern Miss in Hattiesburg. We'll have a look at the celebration. Then later, Turtle Up, Mississippi. We'll take you to this weekend's Sand Jam in Pascagoula, where students learned all about our marine environment. That and more as News 25 Today starts right now.
You're waking up with News 25 Today, your morning choice.
Good morning, South Mississippi, and we are happy to have you waking up with us on this Monday morning. Well, it is definitely already, I would guess, 100% humidity. I'm probably way off, but it just feels that way when you...
You're watching WXXV News 25, your local choice.
Good evening and welcome to News 25 at 5 o'clock. I'm Lori Buring. A suspect has been identified in a hit and run that sent a 9-year-old boy to the hospital.
You're watching WXXV News 25, your local choice.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on News 25. I'm Lori Buring. A suspect in a hit and run that sent a 9-year-old boy to the hospital is now in custody. The driver is identified as 27-year-old Brianna Chevalier of
Now. You're watching WWAY News at 6.
What's your emergency? Tonight, staffing concerns at New Hanover Regional Medical Center. Some employees speaking out tonight about what's going on. Plus, it felt like triple digits outside today, and it's getting hotter tomorrow. We'll show you how some families made a big splash to try and cool down. And it's a race to the top between the temperatures and the average price of gas as the pain at the pump continues. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Hannah Patrick. We begin with Novant Hospital workers speaking out, and here in North Carolina, a look at the latest numbers. Thanks for joining us tonight. For your news at 7, I'm Hannah Patrick.
WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. 3 potential medical marijuana dispensaries have taken a small but necessary step towards opening up shop in Columbus. The Columbus Planning Commission approved permits for 3 businesses.
In your full forecast.
In high definition, this is 41 NBC News at daybreak.
Good morning, Middle Georgia. Today is Monday, June 13th. Thanks for watching 41 NBC News at daybreak. I'm Chase Ambrose. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office is investigating a commercial armed robbery that's
in high definition. This is 41 NBC News at 11.
Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us for 41 NBC News at 11. I'm Tucker Sargent. Our top story tonight at 11, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office is still investigating after 2 investigators were injured in a crash. It happened this afternoon in West Macon.
Before the first raindrop falls, ABC 17 Storm Track Weather alerts you to severe weather threats. Using Future Track to pinpoint the exact time and place storms will hit. Waynesville by 6:06. Advance warning to keep your family safe. That's ABC 17 Storm Track Weather.
Temperatures got all the way into the high 90s, but that heat index made us feel like the mid-hundreds.
It was nasty out
Yes.
there. So because of that extreme heat, the ABC 17 Storm Track Weather Team issued a weather alert day for today and tomorrow. Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner is tracking these high temperatures.
Jess, we might not even see any relief until the end of this week.
Yeah, we're still going to be in the 90s too over the week.
Next on ABC 7 at 10, El Paso Electric wants to remind you of energy-saving programs that can help prevent power outages and can also help you save some money. The tips you need to know during these triple-digit days. And it's Storm Track weather. Nicole.
It's still pretty hot out there right now. We're at 92 degrees El Paso at the airport. Another hot day tomorrow. I'll let you know when we'll be cooling down in Storm Track weather.
Plus, yet another body has been found in an El Paso County canal. We'll have the latest on what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the crisis, and I just don't understand why we're not doing more.
Extra depth on the fentanyl crisis. What drug cartel experts say smugglers are taking advantage of right now, and why he says it's easier to bring drugs into the U.S. Also, the arrest of a suspected human smuggler caught on camera here in El Paso. How the chase across the city came to an end.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC 7 at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for ABC 7's 10 at 10. I'm Eric.